guys, I'm Madeline Harvey. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Do you catch yourself sometimes reaching for high notes? It's a really pesky bad habit, isn't it? It cuts us off from being able to sing those high notes with ease and with power, and it also makes it very difficult to connect our registration so that we have one powerful voice. Well, in today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to quit doing that and do something else a lot more productive instead. So if you like today's video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up or click that subscribe button below. I would love to see you here more often. The video that you're about to see was taken as a clip from a live lesson that was shot earlier today. If you'd like to watch the entire live and participate in the multiple exercises included in the live, then I invite you to click that join button below and become a member of this channel. As a member, you'll have exclusive access to all of our lives that we do every Monday and Thursday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now, if that's a little late for you because of where you live, fear not. We have about 70 plus hours of voice lessons that you can continue to watch. That way you can keep working on your vocal practice at home at your own pace. So again, just click that join button below. It's only $4.99 a month, and your contribution helps to support our channel. That way we can continue to deliver awesome content for you. You ready to get singing? Here we go. Why? Why do you suppose we reach for high notes? Because we all do it, all of us. So that it has to be something at the level of instinct that's almost like a giraffe trying to get something out of a tree. It's like we're reaching up for that high note. Why do you think we do it? Can you guys speak to your own experience as to what's that about? What is that about? So while you're thinking on it and typing it, I'll just say that I'll just ask it like this. True or false? Your head consists of multiple resonating chambers. That part is true. That part is true. So if we come across a sense of reaching for high notes, it's very possible that we're kind of stuck in a specific resonating chamber. And I do feel like once we're stuck in that resonating chamber, pressure builds, and it builds, and it builds, and then we have no choice but to sort of chicken neck a little bit till ultimately that specific resonating chamber cannot take the pressure anymore. The pressure is released, and then we get this funky break that's going on. So look at it like this. Imagine it that your resonating spaces, and we'll be precise today, we're going to talk specifically about the mouth, the nose, and something in between, and that's going to be how we can redirect. Oh, Charlie, I love you. I just wanted to say thank you so much. You're welcome, friend. I'm glad you're here. BB says I get loud and screamy when reaching up. Yes, so let's look at like this. Our nose, nasal port, and mouth. Those are three very specific resonating chambers. Imagine it as a hourglass. It's almost just like that. We have a big bulbous mouth. Lots of acoustics happen inside of the mouth. So that's where we really get caught, is in the mouth. But look there. What happens as the pitch climbs, it sort of is pushed up through this bottleneck. That, my friends, is what we're going to focus in on today. That's known as the nasal port. And it does bottleneck. The mouth is big cavern. And then just like an hourglass, your nasal port bottlenecks. Now, most of us will have a varying degree of amount of pitches that are actually resonating inside of the nasal port. For some people, it's like 4 notes. For me, it's 7. I had a student just the other day that had 9 notes inside of his nasal port. Now, why would that be so variable? It depends on the length and the width of your nasal port, and that's specific to your acoustics. But we've got our hourglass and our nasal port, and we've got X amount of notes. We'll discover just how many notes are in your nasal port. but then it bottlenecks, and then bam, another big open space. So that's the nose. So if you've ever found that you're trying to sing, and then pressure is a really, really big issue, and you're building that pressure, more than likely you're trying to push a high degree of pressure through a very small bottleneck of acoustic space. It hurts a little bit when we do that. That's when we start reaching and we get in trouble. But then once it opens up again, that pressure drops because there's a bigger space. You follow me? So our hourglass, that's what we're going to meditate on. That's mouth, nasal port, and nose. Jeanette says, because it takes more air to create that pitch, and there is too much tension applied in order to get the pitch resonating in the head face. Absolutely, absolutely. So we're going to be practical today. This is all about making it simple, making it practical. The reason I don't want to talk so much about the mix, and I prefer to be precise and go nasal port, is because a lot of times there can be some sounds that are known as like temporary coordinations. I'm a big fan of temporary coordinations in a certain order, but those temporary coordinations are ultimately sort of a strategy to try to get around that. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. We can't get around that nasal port. So if you've ever thought of yourself of going, do I put this note in my chest voice? Do I put it in my head voice? More than likely, it doesn't belong in either. Now, just know that what I mean by chest voice today, it's the mouth. What I mean by head voice today, it's the nose. But those nasal port notes belong in the nasal port. That's a specific, unique, other place. So when you're trying to push up through the chest voice, not going to work. Sometimes it works when you try to push down through the head voice, but again, you just sort of get this breathy, heady kind of sound. What we're going to do today is we're going to really map out your nasal port and give you access. We're going to go right through the scary part of the voice. And it's probably going to be scary, but it's going to completely eliminate your tendency to reach for notes. So here's what I want you to do. We're just going to go from like maybe C to the C. So C4 to C5, maybe C5. Depends. It depends. And I might even let's start at A, because some people's nasal port begins much lower. So what I want you to do, and this will all be coming back to you here in just a second, we're going to bow the head just a little bit. This is our trick for today. Bow that head, and as you bow your head, let the jaw hang. It's assisted by gravity. Let the tongue hang. Assisted by gravity. Let the back of the throat completely go shapeless. There is no vowel sound. There's no vowel sound whatsoever. We're going to pretend like we're blowing your face like a horn. It will make it so very clear where your nasal port notes are. They have a specific sound and a specific sensation, but I'll guide us through it. So our first note, we're just going to sort of grunt it out. See how there's no quality to it? I'm just sort of sitting on it. Good. Let's try that again together. Very good. Now that's our starting place. For me, I feel that in my chest, but you guys your acoustics is specific to you. You might feel it somewhere different. But we're going to go up from there. Now it's really like a horn, like you're blowing your air just like a horn. You should hear the influence of the nose and the mouth. It shouldn't be where I'm just trying to make it happen in my mouth. Blow it through your face. Good. Keep that head bowed. Yes, you can hear that that B note has a sort of sharing of resonance. It's sharing because although the bulk of the sound is happening in the mouth, you can hear it sort of reverberating around the entire head. Good. Good. Now what I want us to do from here, because a lot of us are going to start to move and we're not going to know it. I want us to take our hands and put our hands behind, right on our occipital bone, which is right on the back of our head, the bottom part of the back of our head. And we're going to use our hands to just gently keep our head forward. As we, we're going to imagine that the sound is coming out of like the mouth and the nose, but I want you to imagine it's coming out the top of the head. Okay, like a little cone-headed laser beam. Here we go. Good, try that again. Hear that? Feel that? One more time. Good. One more time. Good. Now you can still hear, if we're using that image of the hourglass, you can still hear that although some of the resonance is being shared by the nose, the sound is not dominant to the nose. It's actually still dominant to the mouth. Here we go. Keep. If you're reaching, you will notice that your head is actually going to try to push against your hands. This muscle here is going to get short, and then we're going to chicken neck. We don't want to do that. We don't want to use the muscles to help reach. It's only the air. So keep your hands here. We'll try that E flat again. Oh. We'll try that E flat. Imagine it's coming at the top of your head. Again. Again. Now, I just want to point out that F is the official first note into the bottleneck of my hourglass. So I'll show you so you can hear it. You'll notice that the E note here, still reverberating around the mouth mostly. But then once we go up to the F, it's almost as if it tucks up and into the back. It's going to enter into a physically smaller space. So when there's a smaller space, there's a higher degree of pressure. So we have to be really mindful of that. That's like when we blow through a small straw, we get higher pressure than we blow through a big straw. So just like our hourglass, we have to be very gentle about entering into that bottleneck. So I'll show you E.